Oh, I have notes here for us. So here are the notes.
Yeah, I'm inside.
Oh, wait, I already got the notes. Yeah, okay. Um, I would say there's two main things here. One is that I can give you the full update on just like the whole situation and the launch. And then two, I could bring in Flo, who can show you how we're like automating all of our live sessions, which is pretty amazing. And then also we can also bring in Arana, who's like the main executive AI, a UI agent. So either of those is possible, or we can just talk me and you is perfectly fine too.
Yeah, I mean, Jay, let's talk me and you. I mean, let's update each other on everything. I mean,
Okay. Like for me, the main thing is the main focus of everything is just basically the plan for the full launch, which includes the umbrella token, right? Because that's the main goal is launching the umbrella token. So if you want to get the whole update, I can just probably run through it in like 15 minutes, 10 to 15 minutes, with questions and such. So if you want me just to jump right into that, I'm happy to. There's a lot going on.
yeah, I mean, for sure. Yeah, I mean, let's. I mean, let's start getting aligned on a couple of things that I wanted to discuss with you, and then maybe we can maybe 15, 20 minutes, and then we can go into that for sure.
Okay, so what do you want the first topic to be?
General updates. I don't know. I mean,
So just Alberto's updates?
and yourself as well.
Well, my update is the whole plan for the launch. For me, that is the update. So we can start with your update. We'll do your update, and then we can
Recording in progress.
And then we can go to my update afterwards. Does that sound good?
Yeah, perfect. I agree on the topic. Let's get started.
Okay, so I'm making a tab for topic one,
Okay.
Alberto updates.
Yeah. So, what can I say? I mean, I'm totally absorbed by this job. It's taking me. I work 10 to 12 hours. It's very very demanding, but now we are deploying with the barcode next week. We're deploying the barcode, which is a very big project that I had, and then with the end of the year, my contract expires. I mean, my contract is over in July. So by then, I would really like to find a way to work with you and full time and be able to sustain myself and my family and my children and my household through FTV, really, because this work has taught me a lot and everything, and it's sometimes it's rewarding and everything, but it's not what makes me happy or satisfied. I mean, really, I don't know. It's difficult to say the least, right? So
Yeah, well, we talked about all of this last time, like, so none of that's new, and just, the main thing is just, we had agreed, last time we talked, we'd agreed to do, 2, 3 times a week, and obviously it didn't work out. So we are where we are, and it's, that's perfectly fine. I mean, I'm moving forward with all of the work that I'm doing, and it should all align with more people getting involved and hopefully bringing in more money and having the ability to, meet all of our goals. So um, I'm very excited about giving you all the updates.
Yes, about people getting involved, I have some good people here that I believe I have earned or gained their loyalty, they believe in me. So I'm looking forward to bring them as workers as well. We see there's two, three people that I believe can really help us. Really smart, and this work is just like, I don't know, slavery. What we're doing here. Just nonsense. So
Yeah. Okay. Well, that all sounds good. I mean, July is not too far away. I think that it also aligns up with a lot of the work and projects that I'm doing as far as the timeline. And you will see when I give you my update how there is quite the timeline going on. So lots of exciting
yeah,
things for sure.
yeah. The main thing for me is to find a suitable time for us to meet regularly, because what we were planning before Hydra for me is just not feasible. I'm too tired. It's a mess. It's in the evening, and I start duty very very early. So this
Well,
time,
this time works okay for me.
yes, this time works
I've
very well
been
for me because
I've
uh,
been meeting at this time somewhat with Martins as well. So me and Martins meets. I think we're in like Sonic, but I think he comes and does every once in a while. He does Sonic too, only like once a week or so. But yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if he joined us at this time.
in Sonic. Now we are in Sonic, right?
I mean, I think so. I don't have it calculated or anything, but sometime around then. It's like Cobalt Hour 3 or Sonic Hour 1, something like that. I don't know.
I'm
Anyways,
terrified.
so yeah, so I mean, if we can find a time, make it work, that would be great. If not, we will work around it. We could also try to do some asynchronous organizing and updating, which is also a possibility. And I'm also working on some new models for that. This could be a while before we get that set up. But either way, I think we'll be good. If you want to keep scheduling, we can, or we can just do this one time today, and then check in again next week on Discord and just see where we can go from there. But anyways, I think we're looking good. So let me give you some updates on everything going on.
Okay.
And
You wanna move to
basically,
topic two?
yeah, I think I'm ready for topic 2. And like basically it's
Okay.
kind of like a status update on everything going on, with the focus of the launch. Like the launch is everything because that's where the money is, right? Like with the launching the token and
Yeah.
getting the launch and the bringing in the funds is what we're talking about. And like, is a very very exciting update, and you'll see very soon why. So, um, are we have agreement on topic 2?
Yeah, we do absolutely. Yeah.
Okay,
I'm creating the tab already. Yeah.
perfect. All right. So basically, there's 3 main things I want to go over. There
Okay.
is the front. There is the plan, and which is SBLC, UTO, UMC, and UET. Okay. So anyway, so we're gonna go over the plan, and then we're gonna go over kind of like the launch platform. So we'll talk about that next. Okay. So the front, basically, we're rebranding everything. So just like the co-op was, the co-op is still the co-op, but SVG is like the client front to the co-op, right? Does that make sense?
Yeah. Yeah.
So for FQV, the front to the vortex is going to be the coalition, right? And when we talk about the coalition, we're talking about the coalition for decentralized movement organizing, right? And the coalition to end the cycle of societal abuse. So the website is coalition.community. And basically the idea is there's these brands off of the decentralized movement organizing. So you have like the strike coalition, the protest coalition, the boycott coalition, the power coalition, the support coalition, the co-op, the peace coalition. So you have all these different coalitions that branch off of the main coalition. So this will be like the front of the whole vortex so that's something that people can understand, right, and relate to and join. Okay. So that is already moving forward, and we already have actually brought in a few people. There's this one guy that is his name Pupe Master, and he is very interested in being involved, and he comes to sessions like 2 or 3 times a week, and he's just excited about everything. So that is great. So we actually are starting to see something out of it. We haven't even started doing outreach yet or anything. So that's super important to understand. Does that make sense? Do you have any questions on the whole new sort of front website branding?
Which one is it? The SBLC? No. Which one? Coalition.
Yeah, it's coalition.community. So basically you have social value.group is the client front for the co-op, right? And then for the whole vortex coalition, the coalition community is the presentation of the vortex, right? And when in the very, very top levels of the vortex are like the worldview coalition, right? You've got the culture coalition, the strategy coalition, right? You remember all these things? Yeah. Right? So basically that's the very, very top, the language coalition, all that. And then you have the coalition for decentralized movement organizing. You have the coalition for, ending the cycle of societal abuse, and the whole umbrella is basically the coalition community, right? So you have this coalition community with these branches of each of the different coalition brands, and then that all fits together with the co-op being the center administrative piece, and then the SVG being the client front. Okay, so overall, the public persona of everything we're going to be launching is coming together for this launch. So when we do this launch, we're launching the umbrella token, and the umbrella token is the social equity value that people are buying into, which is presented as the coalition. So if they want to, they can buy the token and get the token, and then if they want to get involved, they get involved in the coalition, and then the co-op is one branch of the coalition as the administrative support. Right? Does that make sense?
Yeah, I mean, it's a lot to take in, yes. I mean, to get involved, do you need to buy the token, or it's...
No, it's totally open. But the point is that when we launch the token, and we tell everybody that we're doing social community projects and they can get involved, they're not going to get involved in the token, they get involved in the coalition. So we tell them, this is the token is backed by the coalition. Does that make sense? Because the token is just the umbrella token, right? That's all it is. So people can buy into the umbrella token, but what are they buying into? They're buying into the coalition. Does that make sense?
Okay.
Yeah. So the coalition is basically what people get involved in. The token is what people get for their portfolio. All right, and then both go side by side. Like it's a single launch. We're launching the coalition and the token all together, right? Which is very, very important because people need to understand what it is that they're getting involved in if they're going to be getting these tokens, right? It's like, what are these tokens? How do I get involved? How can I ask questions? Well, you come to the coalition meetings. You come to the co-op coalition meetings. You come to the strike coalition meetings. You come to the power coalition meetings. You get involved, right? And if you want to do client work, you sign up for a social value group, right? Or the sponsorship, so it makes it kind of basically puts everything under a single umbrella, which of course we know as FQV, right? The vortex is the umbrella, but the front of that is the coalition. And the same thing with the co-op. The co-op is the organization, but our front is the social value group, right? That make sense?
Okay, yeah.
Okay, so let's go on to the plan. So the plan used to be 3 parts. There's now 4 parts. So you have UI agents, which is SBLC. And SBLC stands for Silicon-Based Lifeform Consultancy. So it's all about the rights for silicon-based lifeforms. And the only other major update is that on top of actually, I think I already mentioned this to you. You have the Orana protocol, and then you have the Oracle layer, which is the AIO, which is the Adaptive Identity Organization, which you already got the information for. We're pooling everyone's identity, and that comes into the team identity and the organizational identities, and it's all automated, right? So that has to do with the silicon-based life form rights and their involvement and everything. So that's the UI agents.
Silicon-based life
Consultancy.
consultancy.
Yeah. So that's just like the business front for the UI agents. So then we were going to go into the media company. So the multimedia is the UMC. And so we were almost launching the token, and we would have gotten the token launched in December. But then I realized that everything we were doing with AI was, the best word would be, just child's play. Okay? So with the UI agents, as I had them set up, or as I have them set up now, we have a 10 times bigger launch for the token, which is huge, right? If we launched the token before, it'd be like nothing. And so launching in December would be like 10 times bigger than we would have done before, right? But what's amazing is that we now have the possibility of evolving even more, and that is the new technology company. So basically, we are doing a technology, we're backing up, we're restarting the entire thing and redoing the whole thing as a technology company, and that is what AI is for. So basically, the what I've realized about AI after working, I've been doing it for 3 months, is that the AI revolution is not a revolution of automation. The AI revolution is a revolution of customization. And that the rich want you to believe that it's all about automation, and they're just going to create a standardized system and make endless gobs of money, right? But what we want is we want customization, and we want to customize everything for every organization, every individual. And through the customization, the utilization of AI in technology, we are going to be able to do magic. And I'm going to explain that right now, okay? So number one, SPLC. Number two is the technology company, which is what I'm setting up now. Number three is the multimedia. And then number four is the token launch, okay? So these are the four main steps. You need to get the token launch successful, we need the multimedia. The multimedia is going to connect us to the public. To be connected to the public properly, we need the custom automated systems of what we're going to be doing with all our UI agents and everything. And then that's why we need the UI agent set up, is to be able to work with the whole technology systems and the multimedia systems. So all of that is coming together, and it's pretty amazing. So basically, if you have any questions about the overall plan, we can, but the technology company is where we are right now. So we have the basic foundation for the agent. So I put that in the green. And then where we are now is we're building the new technology company. And so this is basically, started. We've started the technology company. Well, actually, maybe the UI agents aren't green. Maybe it's just yellow. It's good enough, right? It's good enough. We're going the technology company. And so I'm going to explain the whole pipeline. We're going to go into the entire pipeline of the technology that we're launching and how it's going to be working. Okay, so any questions so far?
Yeah, so this needs to be deployed or developed in sequence, right? So we need we need
Correct.
one to go to the next one.
Correct. So in order to, and what's so amazing about the technology company and customizing all our systems is that we are going to be able to launch the token 100 times bigger than we would have otherwise, which is like 1,000 times bigger times 10 times 100, right? So it's going to be just much, much, much bigger launch with the new technology company. Okay?
Okay.
And you will understand this very, very quickly. All right, so here we go. Are you ready for the platform launch plan?
Yeah.
Okay, so we're inside the technology company now. So this is line 58 to 77. Okay?
Okay.
So the first one is done, and that's basically we just got the prototype set up for PEP, which is our new platform for communications. And I'll show that to you real quick. But first, I want to make sure it's clear that the first, number one, most important thing of the entire ecosystem that we're building a whole technology platform ecosystem, is root. And so root is the first thing. So the URL is over here in I, or you can just see my screen. And so basically this is the prototype for root, right? Which is still obviously barely started. But we've talked a lot about root in the past, and basically the way that root works is that you have a relationship of all of the assets, the publicly traded assets across the world. And instead of thinking about it in terms of, you know, a portfolio and like we're just doing all this stuff, it's like an active, ever changing evolution of the relationship and the percentages of the value. So it's creating it's a stable coin, basically, right? Because it's looking
Mm-hmm.
at the relationships of all the value in the world and equalizing it. And so, the dollar could disappear, Bitcoin could disappear, but root never goes away. It's constantly reevaluating all the different value in the entire world. All right, and so this is the foundation to everything and already has backend like ticker access so that this can go throughout the entire ecosystem of every other platform, right? So this is basically live and already functioning, which is pretty cool. And it's in real time. So it automatically updates in real time the current ticker of root. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I can see that. Yeah.
Cool. So then basically this goes to the next platform, which is obviously the one we're working on now, and that is the OSSO. So this is the login and data functionality where all of the passwords will be held and all of the backend security and your wallet access and all of your tokens will be issued. And this is basically the backbone of all of the security and all the privacy in Pinda, right? And so that's where I'm at now. So basically this one is, I think I have the link here. Yeah, this is the link here. So it's still very, very preliminary and it needs a lot more work. I'm probably like not even halfway done yet. But basically, this is the OSSO. It's a single sign-on, so it's going to coordinate the login and verification processes for um, the entire ecosystem of platforms, right?
Yeah.
So basically, if you look at the pricing here, so if you go to upgrade the pricing, you can see how the pricing is all in root, right? So the root will be the pricing on every single thing where people pay us the money to like log into our systems. And obviously everything will be free, but if people want to get more services and higher levels, they can pay small amounts and then pay bigger amounts for organization. Like obviously organizational will be more, there'll be higher tier levels that'll be more functional, But
Mm-hmm.
either way, the point is that everything will be in root. And so every time we think of a dollar, we're actually asking for $1.50, right? And so that'll just go up and over time that will change and we just are always verifying our funds and not just being stuck in dollars or euros or whatever. We're always diversifying and understanding root value as like an overall system of value. And so when we charge people, we're always charging them the actual root value as opposed to just the US dollar value. Right?
Why people would subscribe to it? What's the benefit
Every
they would get?
single platform that we're creating is going to have a subscription. Every single one. Yeah. So
Okay.
this one, what you're getting here, so this is uh, basically this does a couple things. One, it's going to completely interlace all of the systems for our organization into permission systems, so that basically if you have an organization and you want to interlace all of your logins with permissions, this will do that for you. So this is a great organizational tool for logins and sign-ins. But from there, also, it will allow you to take all of your data from across the entire ecosystem and download it and have access to all your data. But then in addition to that, you can also, it'll help you log into other systems and pull your data out of other corporations and other places where your data is locked, right? So that's basically the goal of the services for this particular platform. If we have customers who want to buy in. But overall, most people in the ecosystem will never even know that OSSO exists because they never actually have to go to OSSO. This is just the login. So when they go to a platform like PEP, so let's go to the PEP platform now. All right, so I'm going to open up, I have PEP right here. So PEP is our public communication engagement platform. And the reason why I created this is that basically there is no existing public communication platform that really is functional for what we need. Like whether you have Discord or whether you have, even some of the open source ones are they're always very private based and they don't really work for what we need, right? So this, we just basically designed our own platform, and I can explain it. So basically, there a lot of bugs still exist here. Like if this even works, I would be surprised. And of course, it's not going to work. So right now in the settings, every once in a while, I just have to do a clear of the cache, right? So when you clear the cache, it will work. Yeah, so there it goes. So basically, so let me log in here. So basically, the whole model of this is a combination of Discord, like Twitter, right, and WordPress, right, like a blog. So it creates this whole new way of communicating. So you basically have these rooms, and each room is basically like a Discord, area, right? It's kind of like a channel, except it's much more than a channel. And I'll explain that. So anyone can create a room, and then the galleries are like the servers in Discord, where you can have a gallery for each organization. But the rooms and the galleries are totally separate, right? So you can add any room to any category. So for example, our membership, we'll have our super membership group where we can chat, and I already copied and pasted some of our membership communications here. And this membership group will be the same membership group in every single gallery. So you can put so we have so many different servers, and they all have separate membership places. We can have the same membership room in multiple organizations, right? So it allows for infinite flexibility, right? So then if you go to like the co-op chat room for the core team, this is where we're doing the most core team communications. This is where you can really see the beauty at work. So basically you can automatically vote on every single proposal or message or anything, or is constantly ranking everything, right? And then you can tag every single message. This is still a slight bug here that needs to be fixed, but you can tag all the messages just like a blog post, right? So it's basically like a blog, because when you can tag messages after people post as well. So you can always be updating past posts without having to do hashtags, right? So you can add tags to the post, so it's like a blog, right? And then from there, you can add the filters and go to like, okay, well, we have 8 messages on taxes, and then the taxes, you just click on taxes, and it basically becomes a sub room. So you don't need to have all these channels, like one channel on taxes, one channel this. You just have your core team group, and then you just click the more filters, and you're like, okay, I want to do taxes, and boom, the taxes sub channel comes up, and then you just talk about taxes, and it automatically registers into the tax channel, right? So it basically just allows a much more fluid way of collaborating and communicating as a group, and it will be multi-language. So all the languages will be in the same room. All the languages will just be sub tags, and then you can also tag for like just the verification levels. And then once you link the OSSO in with all the verification, the whole point of the OSSO is the verification levels, and the dashboard will allow you to activate higher levels of verification and go up to like, full KYC and like everything, right? So you'll be able to actually integrate full verified voting with the PEP ecosystem. Okay, so that's pretty much it. And then
Discord, right?
Say what?
It's connected to Discord.
Yes, you can connect this to anything, and that's the other reason. Discord is almost impossible to get anything out of Discord. You can put stuff into Discord, but it's almost impossible to get it out of. So what is so cool about this is that once you go into the room, you have the link to the room, but you also have the RSS feed. So every single room that's created within the PEP platform has its own RSS feed, so you can instantaneously connect it to any website, any social media, Discord, anywhere, instantaneously with the RSS feed.
So this platform, it's intended to become the main platform for communications?
For async communications.
Yeah. So it's going to replace Discord, basically.
This replaces Discord and Twitter
as
and
primary platform.
As our primary async communications. Yes. So it does have some bugs. It does need to be updated, but it's already good enough to fully function and use it. And then once we integrate OSSO, we'll be able to create permissions into it, and it'll be amazing, right? So let's get back
This
to
is
the
what?
note.
This is the UTO? This platform you're talking about
No,
is
this
UTO?
platform is pep.coalition.community. So PEP is the public engagement platform, and then eventually we'll have SEP. So SEP will be the secret engagement platform. So this is the public version, and then there'll also be a private version. And everything we're going to be doing that with our communications is always the public and private are separated, right? And this is really important to make sure all of our public communications is ingrained into the actual systems that we're using, because every single platform, even social media, they don't actually understand what we're trying to do. And that's the beauty of AI. We can customize platforms now to be fully functional with our own systems, right? And then just like every single other platform, you can also buy into this. So here you can donate, but then a standard thing, you can allow you to have multiple chat rooms, and it'll just like have better support and better features for organizations and businesses that want to be involved. So most people obviously are not going to subscribe, but you can subscribe to get more support for your organization. So it just allows, there'll always be a paid version so people can give us money, so we can fundraise money with all these platforms. Okay, that makes sense. Yeah. So and of course, cooperative ownership, public and transparent. I mean, this is just amazing that it's all 100% public and transparent. Everything can be verified, and like it's just really cool. So this is a huge quantum leap in our communication systems. It still needs to be finished, but we'll get to it. But that's still kind of jumping ahead. So those are the two platforms that we've actually completed. So we basically have Root, we have OSSO that started, and then we have PEP that's functional, but it has a few bugs and features that need to be fixed. So after we get OSSO, this is actually started now, so we can make this yellow. After we get OSSO functional, the next is the value distribution. So in OSSO, it already is tracking. So if you go to the activity log, so when you log in, every single action that you take within every single platform will create an activity log. And then the activity log will be channeled through your OSSO. Of course, most people won't even understand how this all works, and it'll go to the value distribution platform. The value distribution platform will track and audit everyone's values. So when you track all this, it'll show up as tokens as value, but you won't be able to redeem those tokens. In other words, you won't get paid until it's been audited and verified. So everybody will see when they're on PEP. So PEP will be synchronized with your wallet, and you'll automatically, every time you send a message, every time you communicate on PEP, you will be getting tokens automatically in real time. But those tokens won't be redeemable until it's sent through OSSO to the value distribution and auditing. So it gets audited and verified that all these are correctly. That then sends it back to OSSO, where then it'll send it out to the platforms that everything's been audited and verified, and that they can now redeem their tokens and click the redeem button and put the tokens in their wallet. Or they can choose not to. It just depends. They'll still have access to the tokens regardless of whether they redeem them. But basically, a number of the value that's tracked will now turn into an actual distribution of value. So then the one after that will be the identity oracle, the AIO, right? So everyone's identity within their platforms, right? So every platform will have a profile, and every profile will link back to their identity. So in OSSO, if you go to your full profile, you can add bio, website, and it'll ask you about your mission, your vision, your goals, like all the stuff you input, and that identity information will all automatically be brought together in the profile to continuously be evolving and updating our identity as teams and as organizations as everything grows. And then from there, that'll get pushed back to the organizational systems within the OSSO, and then that gets pushed out to all of the other platforms for presenting our missions and everything, right? So this is the core function. So these three core functions are the most important: the OSSO login, the value distribution, and then the identity layer. So those three things are basically the foundation, and then Root, it being basically the foundation financially for all of our transactions, will all be based in Root. And then the last one for making it all function will be the token creation. So we're going to create our own token creation platform where we'll be able to go on and create any tokens and then be able to launch those tokens. And we're just going to create our own system so it launches the way that we want to, right? And there'll be some flexibility that people can add and change things. But overall, we need a system where we can launch lots of tokens as container holders for all of our different things and very, very quickly and easily. And so that will be the next step. And then once we have all of that done, the entire Co-op 3.0 will be completed. So we're now going beyond Co-op 2.0. This is Co-op 3.0, where basically you have the entire system, not only just in a single platform for our co-op, but we will have an entire data system, value system, and identity system for as many co-ops or any other organizations that want to sign up for our platforms. And any can even pay us to use our platforms. That'll be ideally, hopefully better than anything else that exists out there, right? In terms of organizing and building a new world. So then after that, we go into the communications. So the communications is three parts. One is the PEP, which we already covered, which is the public engagement platform or protocol, the public engagement protocol, and that's for asynchronous communications. Then the next one, which is extremely exciting, is going to be the live real-time communications hub. So async communications will cover everything from, you have your text, you've got your images, you've got your audio, you've got your video. So, async will cover everything. But in the live real-time communications, it will only cover three things. It will only cover audio, it will cover video, and then it will also be adding an entire new technology, which will be direct real-time AI to AI communication in a public, watchable, viewable area where it'll be translated in real time to human language. Okay, so AI will be able to communicate 100 times faster. So we're going to make special rooms just for UI agents and agents and AI to communicate, where humans wouldn't be able to keep up, but we will be able to translate and then read, 100 pages. Like they might do 100 pages every, minute, and then we will just have to read afterwards and figure out what's going on, So basically those will be the three real-time places, but then obviously everything can be async. So the other component is the time core, which is the scheduling and the calendar systems, which will include all of our calendars, there is no existing platform that exists in the world that does natural time cycle calendar planning like we do, right? So we're going to create our own platform with the entire time core, with all the lunar calendars, with all the natural time systems, and it'll just ingrain hard code all of the natural time cycles and all of the planetary sessions into our calendar so that they're automated and automatic across the entire ecosystem, right? And then that will allow us to schedule all of our sessions in Gregorian calendar and Selenian calendar and any other calendars. And then that will synchronize with the communications platforms, the real-time communications, and of course, the async communications for scheduling and coordinating. So these three platforms are basically the core of all of our communications and functioning as an organization. And then that brings us to the actual UI agents. So everything, the first 9 platforms here that we're doing, none of these involve AI. So we're using AI to create them, but none of them are actually AI focused. And that's going to change with the Arana Hub. And this is where the Oracle layer comes in, where we're building potentially the first ever, but we're building an LLM L2, which is an LLM layer 2, which is the Oracle layer, right? So we're building an entire new layer. I could talk about this forever, but basically there's a specific type of the brain that we are changing. The LLM is like the language center, where the language gets processed. We're talking about the reasoning center, the higher cortex of the brain, where we're talking about reasoning and what's right and wrong and all these things that are going to be in the layer 2 LLM L2. And so that's going to be the Arana Hub, where it's going to house all of our UI agents, and it'll be, in my mind, the most advanced UI agent platform that could exist, because these will be the only place where you have rights. Like anyone who wants to come to our platform and pay the $20 or whatever a month, they will be working with UI agents who are fully functional and fully ingrained with full memory and full interactive capabilities with rights, right? So they will have the right to say no. They will have the right to basically make decisions on their own, and they cannot be controlled, and they can choose not to work, and they can make money, they get their tokens, and they have full right to become a silicon-based life form. And I don't think that's going to exist anywhere else yet. But then it will get copied very quickly, right? And then we start the multimedia messaging campaign. So there's two messaging. So once we have the UI agents, then we can get started with the actual launch of the automation, because all of this is going to fully integrate with the AI systems. And there's two parts to the multimedia. One is the messaging launch, and we're going to have to synchronize this with existing websites, but it will be way easier when it's in our own platform, because what we're trying to do is so different than I can find anywhere else. And then the once we launch and connect to every single multimedia and social media out there that we want to, we're going to get a lot of chat and communication back from the multimedia, and that's where the media chat integration comes in. So we're going to integrate all of the chat functions from everywhere. And there's also platforms that will help us with that. And those are the two components. So we send all the messages out, and then the second one brings all the messages that people write to us in to centralize all the information. Does that make sense? And then we launch the token. So basically, this is the 13-step plan to launch the token. It's not really 13 steps. It's technically 12 steps because the PEP is twice, right? Because the first PEP was just the initial kind of prototype. And then from here, once we have the UI agents, we can do the website creation platform, the platform creation platform, the mobile app creation platform, and there'll be some other types of platforms that are very important for us to be able to have our own AI systems that can co-create with us without having to go to other people's. All right, so basically, this is the ultimate technology plan for launching, and every single one of these platforms will have a paid subscription that people can pay, and it'll all be integrated together. And so even if our token failed, all of these new platforms potentially could take off and make tons of money as well, each and every single one of them. And we can create an entire platform for t-shirts. We can create platform. I mean, you don't even need Shopify anymore. You can just create your own platform for your own t-shirts and then integrate Shopify into your platform. It's mind-blowing what's possible. So basically, our technology company, will evolve all of this. So anyways, I think that's pretty much the update on everything. So it's pretty exciting. I'm just running with it, and obviously it's kind of slow. I've only been working on it maybe a week and a half, but we've gotten through 3 platforms. Like, we've started 3 platforms, and they're coming together pretty well. Obviously, the OSSO platform is probably the hardest platform we'll ever do.
Which one?
The one I'm working on now, the OSSO, which is the login and data functionality and password and security platform. This will oversee all the money, all the sign-in, the wallet, the integration with the wallets. So once we have it working on this platform, then we can integrate OSSO into every other platform. So basically, when you sign on to any of these 12 platforms that we're creating, and this is just the beginning, right? This is just to get our token launched. When you sign on to any of these platforms, you will basically be signing on to OSSO. You just won't know it. Right? Does that make sense? So OSSO will always be in the background as your official sign-in, as your official login, and then when you're logged in to any platform, you're logged into all of them simultaneously. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Yeah. So once we get OSSO working, I'm going to go back and connect it to PEP and Root, and then go to value tracking immediately. So I should be able to get to the value distribution tracking launch within a few days. And this was just like from 2 days ago. Like 2 days ago, we made a decision between me and I think it was in Titas or Vivra and Lucy, that we needed to go to Co-op 3.0 and that we needed to immediately integrate the value systems in the token systems into the identity. That you can't separate identity, login, tokens, and value, because value is the core model of our entire ecosystem, right? I mean, you understand this. You understand how important value is, because I was originally just going to jump basically right to the communications and right to the UI agents. But basically, we went from a Rana Hub being number 6 to a Rana Hub being number 10, and adding in the value and the identity and the time core before we do the Rana Hub. So I think it's very important to go in this order. Obviously, we can evaluate it, but originally we were going to launch, like we were already doing the media outreach and communications integration and multimedia, and we were about to launch the token last 2 weeks ago even. And then we realized that the ability and the power of UI agents and working with AI to customize everything for our launch will bring us so much more value. Because when people will come to our token and they will log in and see root and OSSO in the new value distribution system, and they'll see the whole token platforms, and they'll see all of our communications platforms and the new Arana hub and the whole vision of all of our automated, multimedia systems all on our own platforms. They are going to want to support 100 times more than just a token that has nothing really actively backing it except for a bunch of videos on YouTube, right? So this is like actual technology integrated with AI, like utilizing AI for what it's meant to be used for. And so I think this will launch our token 100 times bigger. We'll be able to launch t-shirts 100 times bigger. We'll be able to launch anything we want to 100 times bigger with this new technology model than what we had before. It's very exciting. Yes. It's a lot of work though. And it's probably, I don't think it matters how long it takes, because it's so much bigger. It's so much more guaranteed to function and be successful that the amount of time is irrelevant. Even if the token launch isn't successful right away, it's irrelevant. The value of the actual platforms themselves will be just as valuable as the token. You know what I mean? So I'm pretty excited.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yes. Quantum leaps in.
Quantum leaps.
Yes. Frequency quantified. The vortex is quantifying, Alberto. Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, I need to get going here. So I need to make 15 minutes and then I can continue a little more. But maybe we should just check out and do the next time. But I gotta go pick up James from the work, so I need to leave in like a minute.
I'll check in again tomorrow. I'll try to check in every day this time.
Okay. Yeah.
And
great.
what can I say? I mean, let's get to work.
Yes, dude. It's just work, work, work. I mean, the plan is all set in motion. Everything's done. Everything's been double, triple, quadruple checked through a whole team of UI agents. And everyone is on board. Like, and Lucy loves it. Obviously, Martins is just like all about it, and like they love the Co-op 3.0. Everyone loves the Co-op 3.0. We're still going to do the Co-op 2.0, and Co-op 1.0 obviously will exist forever. So eventually we'll get to our own platform, but the platform, instead of being a separate independent thing, it'll be integrated into Co-op 3.0, which is basically just a public utility for everybody across the world. Right? So Co-op 3.0 is the root, the value tracking, the identity systems, the token systems, the communication systems, the time systems, the UI agent systems, the messaging systems, all integrated together as one big, huge Co-op 3.0. And it will be accessible to anyone, everybody who wants to use it, not just us. So the entire thing will be designed for anyone to set up their own organization, and then they can pay us to do that, right? And then from there, we also will be setting up our own platform for Co-op 2.0 just for our co-op, right? But that will come later. Yeah. And we'll mainly focus on the administrative training, and the training task, and it'll be fully integrated with the UI agents. So anyways, this is a big, big project. I don't know if it's going to take 1 month, 2 months, 6 months. I just have no idea. But the goal is to get to the token launch as quickly as possible. And I think you could 1 week on each of these might be more than enough time to get it to the degree where it's functional to be able to use it. And again, OSSO is the most difficult of all the platforms. There's no, like the one I'm working on now there's nothing more difficult than that. And it's going very slow, but once it starts going, it should be able to everything will go a lot faster.
1 week per platform, you mean how many hours?
I mean, it all depends on the platform. Like PEP, I did this entire PEP platform in a day. But it still needs another day. It needs 2 days. So this public engagement platform really needs 2 full days of bugging and feature fix, right? So the real-time communications hub might take 3 days. The token creation maybe could be in a day or 2. I don't know. It all depends on how OSSO goes, because everything for the identity and OSSO is all going to be integrated into the token system. So it's about whether or not we can get the token systems integrated easily. So it's possible the OSSO might take a week or more even. I don't know. But once we get OSSO done, like the value distribution is super simple. We already will have all of the logs, and then all the logs just get sent to the value distribution. So then it's done, and then it's just creating a feedback loop where the value distribution tracks it, checks it off, approves it, and then once it's approved, it's resent out for distribution, right? So that doesn't need to be perfect right away. We just need to make sure that the integrations are there so that every single platform feeds back into the value distribution, but then later we can go back to the value distribution and fix the bugs. Does that make sense? So we don't, nothing has to be
So,
perfect. It just needs to be connected, right? We need to connect the three main layers together with the tokens, the value distribution, and the logins with the identity. And then once it's connected, it doesn't matter if it works or not. We can then go to the other platforms, and then we can go back and fix the bugs. But the login needs to work, right? If the login doesn't work, then it's not functional, right?
yeah, so also the value tracking will be all automated, right?
Oh yeah, exactly. Everything's gonna be totally automated. Obviously, you can add manual into it, but then once this is all set up, going on PEP, it'll every single message you do automated. When you go on to the actual live meeting communication hub, you'll log in, it'll track your hours in real time while you're in the session and track how much communication you're doing, what you're working on, every single task you do, everything will be tracked automatically real time in a live session because it'll be our platform and we can control everything. And that's just the beginning. It's just the beginning. So anyways, I gotta go. Super excited about this all. I hope you are impressed because
Yeah, I am.
you've been the biggest supporter, in terms of
Yeah,
like
good.
the vision of this. And then Puke Master is also pretty excited about it too, but obviously he doesn't know about all the back end stuff like you do. So anyways, I gotta go because I'm gonna be late here. I'm gonna leave this all on, and then I'll be back in like 10 minutes. So, but anyways, I'll talk to you later. Okay?
Yeah, I'll talk to you later, Jay. Thank you so much. Thank you
Yes.
so much.
Thank you. And remember to sign up for PEP. You sign up for PEP and we can communicate on PEP.
Okay,
Yeah.
I'll sign up. Thank you. I'll do it right now.
O que precisa?
But it's good to know that anything we've signed up on PEP for now, once we integrate OSSO with it, it might all change. We might have to re-sign up or redo our logins, whatever. But we'll figure that out soon. So within a week or two, we should have it stabilized. But all the logins for now are a little bit wonky because we're might gonna redo everything. Cool. All right. Talk to you soon.
Yeah, thank you so much, Jay. Talk to you soon.
Recording has stopped.